Hey guys, welcome back to the DI channel. Today we're going to be talking about the gathering and the investment in something that I did in the past to the future, to show as an example. Again, as you already know, I want to get this out of the way. When you actually go ahead and invest into something, you expect higher return. When you invest into a company, you expect higher return. When you invest your time in a job and you go out to the ladder, you expect higher paycheck return. Again, in the Albion line, when you invest something into it, like you work very hard on it, whether it's gathering, farming, or anything else, you expect a higher return. So in the same way, I did invest in the yellow zone only. Now back in the day, let me give you a little summary. Back in the day, there was a thing against the Care Bears and PvPers. The summary is that the Care Bear wanted the T6, T7, T8 in the yellow zone as well, or close to the 8 zone, red zone, like the tier 8 at least in the red zone. But again, the PvPers fought back and said no, and the SBI also said no for having tier 6 in yellow zone. So I told them it's like, that's actually fine. And then I guess people started a bit hitting on me because I was also a Care Bear. It's just I didn't bitch about it. The game is what it is, and if you don't like it, you either give a suggestion, and then if they're not going to change it, then you just go with the game the way it is. I just went with the game with it is, and I said to myself, I'm role playing the gatherer. That's what I want to do for the life at the Albion. I just want to be a gatherer. So what I did is that I said, what about if I make the gathering for T5 the best in Bridgewatch? And if you actually go to you go to Dion Center channel, you scroll down. I have to put a thumbnail for this that is better. You'll see a story called "The Man That Went Insane in Albion Line." I'm actually going to put that in the description below. I'm going to put some of the stuff in here also in the description below so you can actually see it. And what the video is the only lie that I think it was in the video is that I went insane, that I went PvP and I went killing spree. There are a lot of truth in there, such as making the Bridgewatch the best for selling T5, making a lot of money only in the yellow zone. That was like a dream in there, and I couldn't go into the red zone because I was killed a lot, so I would go for 1 hour automatically kill. And understand this as well, that when you actually are back in the past, they did put the 5-second dismount. I mean, that literally just happened when I was already close to my single being at tier 8. And then again, they did so many balances and stuff like that so people can go to the red zone, and there were no builds except Captain Russian had the build for the Bloodletter, which became the norm at 1 year later, that everybody started using Bloodletter. But back in the days, that not many gatherers were using Bloodletter or anything like that. They want to do the long bows, short bow, war bows, all that shit. And basically Captain Russia made that build the standard build or the meta for gathering and also for ganking. So again, during this time, basically I stood in the yellow only, and I decided to make a guide for the yellow premium only. So I'm actually going to skim through this very quickly. Basically during this time, the goal were at 580. Before I started, it was at 535. We already predicted that the goal will increase to 1,000 silver per 1 gold, and I made this guide corresponding that and see if it's possible to pay for premium. Later on, you find out that it was even more possible to pay for premium doing it this way. So again, yellow zone players didn't want to go to the red zone, and yellow zone had slow tree for Bridgewatch. Other places also has yellow zone, but for Bridgewatch specifically, it has slow tree, it has lazy grass, it has snatch parch throw, something like that, and then the other one is parch throw, which is above that. So those were the places where I will farm between slow tree and move to the other area. Again, I skimmed through all of this, and I showed facts and data and stuff that I was doing during that time. And it got I only got like two bad reviews from players because they didn't like the idea. Again, PvP players don't like the idea of safe zone. So if I make something that is successful, then the players are going to cry it out and ask for nerf in the yellow zone, which in the end, I don't know if this actually did happen because of this, but in the end, the slow tree and the Cyber did turn red. It was, some people were making too much money in the yellow zone and did not venture into the red zone. Again, that's just a problem with SBI. It was low risk and high reward for that. So again, as you pretty much scroll down and you go to the second page, this is where I was talking to Captain Russia, and he was actually said that he was proud of what I did during that time, but I didn't invest into gold and problem like that. And I told him the reason I didn't is because if I face the same hardship, the players had no excuse. If I can do it, they can do it, basically. So I skimmed through this very quickly so you guys can see it. There's a lot of videos, a lot of and during this time I was using the channel FAO, which was actually my old channel. The new channel, the old channel is this one, Deion Sender. The new channel was FAO, and then I actually brought some of those videos back to Deion Sender's channel, which is the one that I'm using right now. So as soon as that I finished, and it was, and I heard that it worked. The guide was a success. Players were doing a lot of money in the premium, and I think the only thing I messed up was everything for the fiber wasn't so bad because it's secondary. Resources for Bridgewatch for the desert was that is fiber. The third one is ore, and again the main one is T5 skinning or T4. The problem is that I crashed the market way too fast. I did it in a way to see if it's driven player economy. I want to see if me, one person, can ruin the market, and if I can't, can I make it so low that people will come from Carleon, buy my stuff at the market, and then go travel escort to Carleon to sell it for 300 silver or 400 silver. So in an example, I'll show you right down here. Let me open up this and let me show you right at for some reason I actually closed that window, not sure why, but again, here it is. We had the prizes at 500, and look, as you see in the bottom, there is no tabs. You know, we had it at 500, 450, 300, and then I decreased it. What happened is that I blasted the market like this. All this number right here, I blasted at 240. In the beginning, I blasted at 300 from 450 and 500. I blasted at 300, then blasted it again and blasted it again all the way down to the point where it actually, look right here, blasted it one more time, and it went all the way down and down and down, even all the way down to 123 silver per T5. I was actually once I showed this, I think many players did hate me for it because I ruined the market and then they can't make any money and stuff like that. But and there was another thing as well. It got back up to 200 and then stayed like that for years until April 10th when the Free Blue Blade came out, which increased it to 880. So again, let's actually move real quickly back. I had all these highs, and someone told me, how long did it took you that? This only took me between 4 to 5 days. And they're like, impossible. It's like, not really. Not when you have all of these laborers pumping up resources for me. So for example, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna go right here to the leverage selling. I was still selling all of this. I was grabbing some of the stuff and dropping it and putting it slowly in the market because players were getting a little bit angry that I was actually selling it for a really low price. Again, if I go a little bit closer, this is slowing down here. As you see, there was the market was blowing down. I think this was mine right here. The highest number is usually mine during that time. And again, when we were selling it really slow, like 150 for each one of them. So I was still underbidding player. And again, if I go back right here, then you'll see it that it's 140 when I was selling it, and there's 8,000 of them during that time. And I sold it, I went down to 133, and then players were getting really mad. But the funny part is, it is the premium during this time. Understand, look, do the math conversion. It is 530 for 1 gold. All you needed to do is 8,000 and you got a 1.2 mil, and that pays for your premium. Something that you wouldn't want to do, but again, because if you do the calculation right now, and you had it on the free to play, that would equate to what? Let's see, 8,000 of it. One, two, three, one, two, three, about 7 mil during that time. During this time, it went down in price, obviously, but during the free-to-play that started, it went up to 880. So let me actually take that out and then take this out as well. And then during this time, I was also doing farming for both of my alts. So I was also flooding the market with two of my alts and my main. And I was gonna get more alt, but again, you actually had to pay for that. So really didn't want that. We go forward, and again, I'm going to speed this up so you guys can see. I was just getting a bunch of mats over and over, and I had enough to foul them up. During this time, T5 was 112 happiness. To get it to the next happiness, I had to wait one more day to push it actually, I think it was a couple more days than that. Sorry about that. I think it was 1 day to make them fully happiness, but again, to get it to tier 6, I needed one more day, and during that time, they would have been 150 happiness. Look, 537 for the gold, for silver for gold. Again, I was getting all of this, and then I was actually just filling them all up one by one, and I always had enough books. As you see, it's 112, 112. If I actually go to the next island, look at this baby. I was actually doing T4 during this time. Yep, I was actually increasing the T4 on some of the other islands as well. Back, I'm gonna go right ahead and show you this picture. And during this time, I didn't want to show my name, because if I went and show my name to the community, they will hunt me down for this and try to kill me. So I never tried to show my name out until later on when I came close to quitting. Again, look at the beautiful amount. I had 28 of this, and I was filling it up. I was getting 36. I was getting 4, 1, and I got an exceptional for the labor. So I was watching during that time Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that, and again, I was going back out there and farming while watching a Boo in where's that place, Put Locker and stuff. So again, let's actually go right ahead and take that out. We're going to take these two out as well, the whole thing for this one, and then here's the funny part. Let's do a time skip. March 14, 2019. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired right now. I haven't slept all night, and I'm about to go to surgery in an hour. 2019 time skip. I wonder. I heard about the nerf about the slow tree and being red and the other yellow zone being red, and I said, can I still do this to earn a couple mil, like at least 18 mil before I go to random dungeons? Because in March 20 was going to be random dungeons, and I want to see that, which was the best time of my life, between March 25 to April 9 before free to play. So time skip, and this is what happens. I use the same thing of my old guide. As you see, I'm at 241,000 silver. So then that's at 8:40 a.m. and then I take a screenshot right here with the whole time, and I went hard. From 8:40 a.m. I went all the way to 7:26 a.m. full hard. I earned between 4 mil, and you can see the progress right here. All of this I was getting. Look at the hide. 999, 581, and all of these 694 inside tome, and I was filling up the books so I could sell the book. And even though I would have loved to have all my labor, I was selling the book. Again, I was watching the movie on the left side, and then during that time came in 7:51 p.m. at 3:15 2019. I made literally close to literally in 1 day I made it to 10 mil in technically 1 day. So then I jumped for 4 days, obviously, and I went slow because the first day was 10 mil. If you times it by 4 more days, then that would have been 40 mil. But I said to myself, I only need 18 mil to start this up. So I took it slow, got up to 18 mil, and started the random dungeons at March 20. But I lost 12 mil going into a guild, and then I made my core run at March 25. So it was right. It was really right that I actually did this correctly. Again, this is actually something from the past. I gave away 62,000 gold back in the past, 135,000 130,000 silver and 62 gold that I gave for the free to play player. All right, before I move in, let me actually stop right here. You guys, welcome back. The other video that I just made, this video technically, it's already at 15 minutes. I'm just gonna start this up. So because this is video is 8 minutes, and I want to get this between 20 to 25 minutes, like I promised that I would on each of my video. I can try to keep it very low on the duration. Again, during this time, I went back out there is between 11 a.m. So 1:11 a.m. in the morning. During this time, it's right now it's 5:14 a.m. which I'm trying to get this finished so I can take a shower and go into surgery. During this time, I actually said, okay, let's do it again. Let's just have a little bit fun with it and try to gather. And here's the thing is, my gathering, what happens is that during the past, I had a so high spec into my gathering for T5 that I was receiving bonus even though sometimes I didn't wear gear. For example, right there I receive a bonus and I'm not using food like pie. And the reason why for the fiber I was receiving bonus is because right now I'm at 90, I think I'm at 99 out of 100, which means I am close to 50% gathering yield and the speed of gathering. I'm also at 50%. However, I'm wearing gathering gear for hide, and as you see, I get gathering bonus for it. Except the T3, I don't get gathering bonus for it. Again, I got for hides it's at 120%. So again, if you look at it right now, since I'm 120%, I get 100% of the time gathering bonus all the time, except the fiber, which I'm at 50%, and I'm not wearing the gathering gear for it. So my investment that I did on the gathering yellow for premium and just staying in the T5 yellow zone, just all the way to tier 8, allowed me to get such a high spec that I am already at a bigger disadvantage than everybody else in the zone. One, I am, because of my higher spec, I am 50% faster than they are. Even though they can be tier 8, I am 50% faster. I have a T8 tools, which I am extreme faster now. Same thing for my hide, I am 50% faster. But then now I also have the tools that I have right now, which also makes me faster. And when it comes into gathering yield, what happens is because my hide, my fiber is 50%, and look, I'm still gaining gathering bonus for it, but my hide is so high, it's 120% that I can get ×2 gathering bonus. And what this does is that some of the chance, instead of like getting 1 and maybe a plus premium, which can give you 2, instead of that I get ×2 plus the one that I'm getting, which is 3, plus the premium could I get 4. All that for just 1 gathering. And that gives me such a huge advantage when I see an exceptional. In fact, some of the times in here that I was, there was a guy who found an exceptional, and I asked him if he wanted more than 1, and he's like, how is that? It's like, let me gather it and I'll give you like 2 instead of 1 and stuff like that. He said, but it was hard to convince him during that time because he said that I have a chance to also get a premium bonus, so it doesn't matter and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but it's, you know, it's better, you know, it would be better, it would help us both and stuff like that. Now if I was a dick and stuff like that, I would have just PK'd and steal it. That's what you can do when you have flagged. You can actually steal the zone. Look at this, I was so fast that during the duration of the Sense of the Wild, I can literally steal that real quickly. So if somebody was fighting stuff like that, I just use Sense of the Wild and steal it if I wanted to. But I never steal other people's gathering and stuff like that. I make sure that I respect them, and if you're already on it, I'm gonna leave you alone with it and I'm gonna do my thing. Again, the investment was so high on it that everybody else in this zone, whatever they're getting, I can get 1 or ×2 more than they are getting. So if someone goes back home with 100 hide, I know I'll go home with 200 hide and a chance to get ×2. So between that, it will be a variable. So if I had higher than that, it probably would have been like 250 or 252 or something like that. by the time I got home, while they go back and they only got like 100. So again, if you look at it, during that time I didn't get it, but again I got one of them of the premium bonus. I started speeding it up because the video was getting it was actually a from that till 2 something a.m. or so on, so it was close to an hour or so. So again, I started speeding it up so I can show you guys what I was getting. Again, pay attention at the time so you can see the difference. This is the only thing that I couldn't get high. I have a T5 axe, and the reason why I didn't actually level it up is because the ores are the only type of resources that went down in selling. So it was literally at 126, even though no one was actually going crazy at it at the ore like I did with the hide. So I'm not sure if that ever going to happen in the future. If it does, that'll be sad. But again, if it doesn't, then hopefully you guys can make money out of the ore. But ore for Abby Online was one of the worst resources to gather. So again, I can take multiple of them because I can actually just heal myself, and I was just getting plus and plus and plus and plus bonus. What I'll do is I'll try to skip it just a bit, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see as well. See, I'm here, and he goes down. He's a tier 6 maybe. He goes maybe tier 6 or tier 5. He goes down and start gathering, and look, I already finished my gathering. So if I was a dick, I could just steal it, but I don't need to steal. I don't need to be a dick. I don't need to steal, and so I freaking kept going. Now this person, Agarakas, I had to see him because it was funny. This is the first time again in a while that I seen a botter. Now back in 2015, I saw a botter, I recorded it, and then this guy, even though I had to cut the video so many times, I came back to this guy. He was just there walking back and forward and such, and I think someone flagged down him, and he just got back and started like walking back and forth, which was hilarious. Again, I go back out there, finish gathering that, and let me actually fast forward because the video I want it under some 20 something minutes. And I came back home, and during this time is look, so real quick calculation. Actually, you can't calculate that well. No, you can't, can you? Let me see. It's actually 1111. No, I don't think you can calculate that way. I'm too tired to calculate that in there. Basically, let's say it was basically like an hour, I would say. An hour and 30 minutes, I would say. So again, I look over here, I check the price for it. I looked before, I have 4.7 mil on me. So 4.7 mil, and I just started selling things over and over just to see the difference between each sales instant and sell order. There was not so far of the differences, so I just started selling and selling. This guy's buying for 1,000. This one was buying for like 773, so I got 341,000. So 4.7 mil. I think that right there was about close to, yeah, it was a mil and some change, because you can't see it, the rest of the number. So close to like 5.8 mil, and that was just basically 1 mil, I would say. Yeah, it was 1 mil. 1 mil to do that in an hour at a yellow zone and stuff like that. Not going to black zone and farming all enchanted node. Not going to red zone and farming tier 6. Just straight up tier 5 with the spec that I had. So my investment that I did it in 1 year ago, the guide for the gathering in yellow, actually allowed me to get a lot more nowadays. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have been able to get 18 mil in 4 days. Understand that the price when I got that was at 200 for T5 highs, and fiber was between 150 to 180 for T5 fiber. When free to play came out, it increased to 800 for fiber and 880 for T5 hides. So my point of this show, this little thing right here is, though you may bitch about it at the moment, about the gathering in T5 yellow zone, and you want to go to red zone but you get your ass kicked, sooner or later you will reach the level that I am, in gathering for T5, and then you're just gonna still make more money, and no one can contest you in here. I'm sure a lot of players in here will get really pissed like they did 1 year ago and say, why the f are you gathering in yellow? Because I have higher spec. That's why. Now I gotta go take a shower and then go to surgery. Bye.